In this week's episode of Working with Todoist, I'm going to show you how to set up the Golden 10. Hello and welcome to episode 150 of my Working with Todoist series. My name is Carl Pauline, and in this week's episode I want to show you how to set up your very own Golden 10 planning system in Todoist. Now I hear you asking me, what is the Golden 10? Well, the Golden 10 is the 10 minutes you spend at the end of the day planning the day ahead. Now, I'm a big believer that you should plan the day ahead the day before. The main reason for this is I generally find that you get a much better night's sleep, and when you wake up in the morning, you know exactly what you want to get done for the day because you've already planned it. Now, I find that the morning is when I am at my most creative. In fact, science has proven to us now that after a night's sleep, and preferably a good night's sleep, your brain is at its most productive and it's at its most creative. And I just think it's a waste of that productivity and creativity to spend 20, 30, 40 minutes planning what you're going to do for the day. I find that you should plan the day ahead the night before, so that when you wake up in the morning, you hit the road running and you start getting all the amazing stuff done. It also means you can eat your frog, and what that basically means is you can start with the most difficult task of the day because your brain is fresh and you're ready to go. Now, my Golden 10 essentially is inspired by Jim Rohn. Jim Rohn has this wonderful quote, which is, "When do you start the day? When you have finished the day." And what he means by that is you don't start the day until you have it planned out, so that you make sure that you're getting the important things done and the non-important things can disappear into the background and you get round to them if you have time. And I'm a big believer in, if you really want to get your life organized and you really want to start achieving amazing things, then you need to be focusing on the things that are going to help you to achieve those amazing things and not waste your valuable time on things that are never going to take you anywhere near accomplishing those things. That's why I find the Golden 10 is a great way to focus your mind in on what's important, and so that you make sure that when you start the day, the next day, you are getting those important things done immediately. I'll tell you something else I find it does. It means when you wake up in the morning, you are actually full of energy and you're ready to get going. You can't wait because you know what's on your to-do list, those big important things, are going to get done because you've had a good night's sleep, you're refreshed and you're ready to go. So, before we get into Todoist, what I would just like to say, if you like this video, please click on the like button below. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please subscribe. Okay, let's get straight into Todoist and I'll show you how to get this set up. Before I start with this, what I should do is point out exactly how I use my Golden 10, how mine is set up. Essentially what I do is I have a link to an Evernote note in my checklist folder or notebook. So all I have to do at the end of every day is just click on this and it will open up my I call it my end of day checklist or Golden 10. And this is what's in here. Now I have personalized this, and for those of you who've actually recently enrolled in my Your Digital Life 2.0 online course, I've actually put a detailed inscription of this, but there is a basic setup which I'm going to show you in a moment. So what I would always recommend, by the way, with the Golden 10 is you do need to personalize it for yourself. I've given a guideline, and I will put the guideline in the notes below so you can copy and paste it, but I would recommend that you actually spend some time and figure out what your Golden 10 is going to be. But remember, the key with the Golden 10 is it shouldn't last anything longer than 10 minutes. So this is actually mine. So this is the way I use it. But what I'm going to do is show, because I know not everyone uses Evernote, So I'm going to show you another way that you could just keep everything within Todoist if that's what you prefer. So I'm going to go into this. I've created a project in my projects list called Golden 10, and there is a number of ways of doing it. So the first one is you have a daily recurring task, and you see here this is recurring every single day, and you put it into your notes. And so you just have a list of items in your notes that you wish to go through at the end of the day. And by the way, this is the basic checklist for a Golden 10, which is to go through your to-do list inbox and move any tasks to their right places or notes or whatever. Label date tasks where necessary, view your tasks for tomorrow with your calendar, assign 2 objectives for tomorrow, which are very important because those small wins can lead to much greater things in the future. And then check you have a task related to your goals on your daily list. So this is the basic one that I recommend, but as I say, it's very important that you personalize it. So this is the first way. This is probably the easiest way. As it's a recurring task, you just check it off at the end of the day and bang, you're well away. So check off, done, and I can undo it by clicking down there. So that's the first thing that you can do. Okay, but there is another way. And this is to set it up again as a recurring task. And by the way, for those of you wondering why is mine bold, it's simply because I put the double exclamation mark at either side. So I saved that. Now the key here is you still do not want to make this an uncompletable task because you need this to be recurring every single day. And what I've done is I've created exactly the same list, but this time that list is now as child tasks underneath the Golden 10. So what I would do during the day, when I do my check, I can just check it off like this, and they don't disappear. Now, for some of you, you're going to be asking yourself, oh, but I really want to see them disappear. But really, is that the goal? The goal is to get the work done. It's not necessarily to get them checked off. So let's say this is a Monday. I've done my Golden 10. I can now check that off. That's going to come back tomorrow. And when I open up the folder, all these are going to be checked. So all I have to do when I do my Golden 10 on Tuesday is just go down and uncheck them. And that's essentially another way of doing it. I mean, the goal here is to do the task. The goal is not to have a perfect set up to-do list manager. The task is the most important thing, not whether the tasks are checked off or not. So on Wednesday, I would go through and I would just check them all off like this. And then on Thursday, when I open this up, it's going to be all checked off. So all I have to do on Thursday is uncheck them. And that's just, to me, the simple way of doing that. I don't have any hang-ups whether this is checked off or not. The most important thing for me is this task here, that I am completing the Golden 10 every single day. Now, the reason why I've set this up like this is when I do this, when I go into my today view here and I look down at the bottom, the Golden 10 is here, but it's just one task. It's closed off. So it's not making my day list look untidy with 5 or 6 or 10 or whatever tasks I've got within my final end of day routine on the Golden 10. All I have to do is drop that down, and again I can just check them off like this, and it's an easy way. It's in my daily to-do list. The problem I have is when I do it the other way around, which is have the individual tasks, or this is a non-completable task, it just gets very messy. So that will come round on the next day. So that's the couple of ways that you can use it. That's actually 3 ways that you can actually do it. So for those of you using Evernote, then you could just use it as a simple checklist in Evernote like this. And again, you'd go down the list, check them off as you do them, and then the next day, just uncheck them. It really doesn't matter, because what matters is you're doing the task. Another way of doing it is just have this as a normal task and just put your notes and just have in the list of things in the note about what you need to check. This is a bit more difficult because you can't cross them off, but if you trust yourself to get these tasks done, then that's one way of doing it. And the final way, which I actually have as a preferred way, particularly for those of you not using Evernote or a note manager that links directly to Evernote, to Todoist, then just do it as a child task like this and just focus in on your Golden 10. And remember, the Golden 10 is the Golden 10 minutes. This shouldn't take you anything longer than 10 minutes. Okay, hopefully that's given you a few ideas of how you can set up, if you like, an end of day routine that will help you to plan your day ahead. which is really, really important if you want to get a lot of stuff done and become incredibly productive. Okay, just remains for me now to wish you all a very, very productive week.